We go then, immediately launching into it. Here is CurryGovernor versus Shaneak in winner's side of top 32.
All right, starting with PS2, of course. What else?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very, very neutral stage for, sort of a lot of characters. Certainly in game one, you do see it the most, where sort of you obviously going for the rock, paper, scissors format. It's just a stage that most players end up on after banning sort of the ones that they just generally don't like. But, sort of being a very sort of neutral stage, of course, is going to give sort of both players just a lot of room to maneuver around. Shaneak definitely trying to sort of just find that one way in, and getting that back air does lead to that and leads to big damage. Now Curry just trying to find his own way in, and already just going for it there with that side B.
He was
just
almost dead.
Just launching it, and Shaneak trying to come back, able to get that forward air as well. But these two players are just duking it out with each other. My goodness.
Yeah, Shaneak was almost straight up dead. Now Shaneak is dead. That was a really great start from Curry, who is still at 82. And what's interesting about both of these characters, by the way, is they both got pretty big buffs.
Yeah.
In the very last patch of the game's lifespan. So Inkling, of course, got the splash shot buff. So neutral B goes way, way further, and recharging Ink also does less damage.
Yeah, no, and exactly, and I remember seeing the when that buff did come out for Inkling, and seeing just how far the splasher shot went now is absolutely huge. It just gives Inkling so much more room to just zone away and get damage going. And of course, we're already seeing quite a fair bit of it in this game as well. But so far, Curry just doing
saw the up tilt kill buff.
Yeah.
But I think it was the wrong hitbox.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for Shaneak. But again, Curry has just been kind of all over. He hasn't really necessarily played too defensive, but he's just been always in Shaneak's face, and it's worked out so well. Because of course, Cloud is a character that just uses that range. But when they're in, sort of they hit hard.
Yeah, and Shaneak's definitely struggled to kill a little bit here, and you can see Curry just taking advantage, just fading in and out, taking advantage of how the range isn't really great unless you're using super committal smash attacks. And again, just taking a whole stock whilst sitting at kill percent.
Yeah, no, and exactly, sort of each time we're just seeing, Curry just using that range, and then as soon as they're in, just, kind of just going over Shaneak, finding those back airs, finding those forward airs, those forward tilts. It's getting so much going here, and Shaneak just struggling to find any sort of position where Curry is not in their face or just behind them. Yeah,
you feel like Shaneak just can't hit him at all. That's a 0 to death. He was just he was downright untouchable, that stock.
And that's exactly it. That's how it felt across the entire game, where Curry was just there,
Yeah, the first stock was kind of even, and then stocks 2 and 3, the way he was moving, it felt like Shaneak was just incapable of hitting him.
Yeah, exactly that. And, sort of each time you could see that Shaneak was trying to go for those up smashes, you're trying desperately to find those rollers, the up smashes, any move that would take the stock away. But each time, Curry had already retreated by that point, or they jumped over them. They just, they sort of got those hits in, then they're away, then they're back in, then they're away, and it just made it so difficult for Shaneak to find any sort of meaningful hit on them. Of course, sort of going to Smashville here in this game too. I think he's sort of almost applying the same logic that Wing was applying in his set against Owl Babies, where he just wants to close that gap between them. Go for a smaller stage, giving Curry kind of less room just to sort of jump over them and sort of be in their range, I suppose.
Yeah. Because Curry has so much room to move around in PS2. Whereas in SV, that's less true, and something like Roller controls a lot more space.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So, of course, already sort of doing fairly well for Shaneak here, keeping it certainly quite even. But again, we're just seeing what is peak Curry here, where he's just controlling the pace of the game, going for those forward tilts as well. Just keeping himself outside the range of that roller, but within the range to get that forward tilt, and then just going straight back in after retreating with that dash tag, finding the stock. And this is kind of what we saw exactly in game one. So now it's up to Shaneak to try and find a hit that they couldn't find in game one.
No jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Very nice. Oh, and you could see that Curry actually sort of just retreated back. I think he was kind of hoping that Shaneak was maybe going to come off with them. maybe go for something a little bit of sort of upbeat cheese to take that stock away with them. But no, Shaneak actually just, sort of being aware of that and just keeping themselves away, keeping themselves on the stage. They knew that Curry was dead without a jump, so just going to play it safe.
Yeah, not overcommitting there. Definitely could not have done with that trade at all. But Shaneak is slowly racking up the damage and trying to bring this back. Got Curry at 56 right now.
Yeah, and of course, one thing we haven't actually mentioned is sort of what makes it difficult for Shaneak here is that, and cut myself short there. So unfortunate for Shaneak, actually just air dodging into the stage and, not up like they intended. Unfortunately, just falling to their death without a jump. This is exactly what Curry, is going to take now as he's able to just capitalize on this momentum. So much damage being piled on so quickly. And Shaneak got to climb a fairly big mountain here if they want to get back in this game too.
Yeah, and been lapped in percent pretty quickly. I mean, evened it up just after, but Curry has made pretty light work of this last stock so far.
Yeah, you can see them just trying to end it all with that forward smash as well, but, Shaneak are not going to get caught by that just yet. But 99%, this is starting to look very, very scary, especially when you're facing a cloud that is glowing blue. Curry, launching that side beat as well, trying to just end it all with that one move, but Shaneak's still hanging on by a very thin thread.
Booyah not going to kill just yet. SV's ceiling is actually kind of high. You can cheese people on the platform, obviously, but the ceiling itself is like around Battlefield height, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure, and so that does make things a little bit more difficult. And Curry just sending them plummeting down to the abyss below. Just end it all with that one move. And Curry 2-0 up here. And Shaneak really starting to look like they're struggling in the set.
Yeah, it was a nice bait with the little limit charge there to think that it was okay to recover for Shaneak. In general, it's the same problem where the way Curry's moving and the amount that he's swinging, Shaneak just can't really deal with it. He doesn't have a way of getting in, he's got worse range, and he doesn't have a good enough read on Curry's movement to kind of pin him down.
Oh, and it looks like we are seeing a change here, potentially, from Shaneak. You can see them hovering over that Pyramipha. I think they're really, okay. Just gonna go back to that Inkling. Yeah, I think considering a change, especially after those 2 games had gone where Curry did just seem to be, in control from the very start.
Yeah, but with Mithra, you'd have a bit more range and you'd have a bit more speed. But if you don't think you're good enough at that character to perform at this level with it, then don't go for it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because you've got to feel like comfortable enough that you can win these games. That is the only problem when you do change to a pocket character that you're sort of losing your comfort of not going your main and sort of Shaneak definitely someone that knows Inkling like the back of their hand. And we don't know if that's necessarily the same for Pyramipha. So, and I think Shaneak thinking exactly the same. I'm just not going to risk it. Just going to go for that Inkling and see what I can do in this game for instead.
Yeah. Oh, only a forward air out of that.
Yeah, I think kind of Shaneak almost a little bit too aerial there. Maybe should have tried to put themselves back on the ground, but probably thinking to themselves that they didn't have time to get them to the ground before Curry had mashed out. So, instead just getting a forward air, but unfortunately it did just mean that, Curry basically went nowhere.
Yeah, because I think it might have been southpaw forward air as well.
Yeah, which is really, really unfortunate. Now, of course, Curry actually, sort of on the back end here, 150%, definitely sort of hanging on very, very thinly here, but, and nice. Shaneak doing a really nice job there, using the splash bomb just to throw it out, forcing Curry into a position where Shaneak could just dive down there, get that forward there, and just send them away. So really, really nice stuff here. Now just trying to back up as much free damage as they can, but 131%, this is a scary position where, certainly one back air will just take that stock away.
Yeah, Inkling can struggle to kill, so not waiting too long on your stock is very important, and hopefully Shaneak can roll with this momentum and create a set that's a little bit more even, at least for them.
Yeah, now you can see both players just kind of sort of just taking a little bit more slowly here, just kind of finding these smaller hits, not really chaining anything together, but finally momentum starting to shift here as Curry does glow blue with that limit, but not even going to need to use it as they are just sort of maneuvering around so much and just sort of making it so that Shaneak just is recovering high and Curry is just already up there ready to greet them with that back air.
Yeah, Shaneak went under the whole stage and CurryGovernor didn't really care, just kind of followed them around and then didn't let them back on. You can go over, under, and around, but you're not getting on.
Yeah, exactly. Curry just saying it, oh no, and Curry again just trying to silence us here. Oh, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts.
And immediately the comeback has been completed. And what looked like a pretty bad position is resolved pretty quickly with a kill at, what, 88?
Yeah, literally, you know, it seemed like it was just a few moves that seemed to seal it. Oh, Curry trying to go for that uppy as well. We gasped because we saw a timeline there where Shaneak went down with that uppy. Of course, Shaneak now really having to play carefully here. Curry has made a huge, huge comeback, but still, Shaneak just needs to find that stock away, but Curry is not letting it happen. Glowing blue with that limit as well. Shaneak knows they need to run away. They need to time out this limit or, you know, find a stock, one or the other, but Curry's just not going to let it happen either way.
Yeah, he's not content with letting it happen at all. It's well played from Shaneak there as soon as Curry had limit to just knock him off stage to a point where he had to use limit up B. So that was no longer an issue. And Shaneak does have a decent opportunity to make a comeback here, starting off with a good 40. 51 now.
Yeah, a lot of good damage being piled on from Shaneak there, certainly evening up the gap a little bit. But Go just putting a stop to that with that up B into their face. Again, going off stage here, this is where Curry starts to look scariest. But they do need to play careful because, you know, one roller could signal the end of this game and, you know, the start of Shaneak's comeback. But unfortunately not when you're just falling to that back air. And Curry landing it softly into Shaneak's face. And that is going to take away the game, take away the set. 3-0 in Curry's favor to continue their winner's bracket dream.